starting to get a little nervous about Tesla. Anybody who has watched my channel for any length of time knows that I am a massive Elon Musk fanboy. I'm a Tesla fanboy. And this might come as something of a shock to people who know that I have that background. But I gotta say, it's not crunch time. I don't know what is bigger than crunch time, but that's where they are right now. And it's looking very perilous at the moment. I have talked before about the fact that I did make a reservation for the Model 3. I did it on the day that they announced it. My little bit of pride is that I didn't do it before they showed the car. I wanted to actually see the car first, even though there were like 100,000 people that did pre-order before they ever even saw the car. I at least waited to see the car. Then I was like, okay, I approve. And I went ahead and ordered it. Now, I knew that it was going to take a while. I knew that they tend to have major delays at Tesla. I was fully expecting to wait at least a year and a half before I would get mine. And I always had a little bit of a fear that I might not even be able to afford it when the time came. It's looking now like I'll be okay. I'll be able to make it. But now they're running into bottlenecks. For anybody who doesn't follow the whole Tesla thing, they were expected to be doing somewhere around 1,500 cars a week right now, or a month. Maybe it's a month. Anyway, they're supposed to be doing like 1,500 cars a month, let's just say. And right now they're doing like 200. They've got this major bottleneck. They recently laid off like 700 employees. They try to play it off and say, oh, it's just that they didn't pass performance reviews. There's a lot of stories, but there's a lot of stories coming out that they aren't treating their workers very well. There's been stories about racial issues, sexual harassment issues, and stuff like that. Of course, the sexual harassment thing is all over the news everywhere right now. And now they found out, or at least the last I heard, was that the bottleneck was actually at the Gigafactory in making the batteries, because if I'm not mistaken, they are using a new type of battery for the Model 3 that's not the same as the Model S. So it's putting those battery packs together that wound up being the big bottleneck. And then I read today that the head of the battery engineering team got laid off. So heads are chopping and flying all over Tesla. They're way behind. They've officially, I got an email the other day saying, yes, it's being delayed, but, and right now they're putting it at sometime in March or April of next year. I'm still holding out hope, but I guess the thing that is frustrating me the most is that the reason, I may have talked about it on here recently, but my current car, it's a Volkswagen Jetta diesel, 12 years old. It's a 2005 Volkswagen Jetta diesel. And it's just getting to that age where there's just constantly something going wrong with it. I've taken care of it all this time. I've always taken it to the dealership. I've always had, stuff done as it came up. And now I'm running into issues where my window went down and would not come back up. So I took that into the dealership. The problem now is they don't even have parts for my car anymore. They have to order, like every time I take my car in, they have to order in a part. And it's always a big wait that I have to do. So they had to order in the part. It wound up costing, $400 something. And I had just, a couple of months ago, gotten like a huge, just so that it could pass inspection, it wound up costing like $2,500 to get everything fixed on there that needed to be fixed, just so that it could pass inspection. And when that happened, my car isn't even worth that much. And I'm like, okay, is it time for a new car? Like, it makes sense to just go ahead and get a new car. But it doesn't make sense to go ahead and get a new car if I'm waiting for the Model 3 to come out. So I had this big debate, and I came really close to getting a new car. And then I decided, no, I'm just going to pony up the money. I'm going to keep this Volkswagen. I had all that stuff done a couple months ago, and then the window went down, wouldn't come back up. So that's another $400 on top of that. And now, literally the day I got back home, the day I got my car back from getting the window fixed, one of the headlights went out. I lost count a long time ago on the number of times that a headlight has gone out in this car. It's just kind of a thing that Jettas tend to do, a fun little idiosyncrasy of the Volkswagen Jetta. So I'm just at this place now where I'm like, oh my God, how much money is this going to cost me? Like, it might actually cost me more money to keep maintaining my car than to get a new one, even if I wound up trading it in or doing whatever you have to do to get the Model 3 later on. And it's just, I'm in kind of limbo right now. And the fact that everything seems to be going to hell in a handbasket at Tesla is not helping that. You know, I do have hope that they'll pull it out and they'll make it work. But I think the thing that frustrates me the most about the fact that they're having all these delays and stuff is I'm sitting here like, that was April of 2016. It's now November 2017. April of 2016, they took, at the time it was like 250,000, I think, pre-orders for this car. It's now up to over 400,000 pre-orders. And that means that's 400,000 people that put $1,000 down. That's $400 million. They had $400 million just sitting there. And now 18 months, and now they're like, oh, we're having all these delays, we're having all these problems. And I'm like, how? You had so much money and so much time, and you're still running into these issues, you know? And they're like, well, we're backed up because of, why couldn't you build a new plant? They're saying that there's not enough space in the Fremont plant to get the Model 3 produced. You had all this money, why couldn't you build a new plant? This is what Tesla does. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about making a car, and I'm sure that if I had to do one myself, it would be just as much of a cluster, but it's frustrating to be in this position, and I just wanted to rant about it, so there you go. That's my rant for the day. That's been too much information. Later.